Hello, 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 and welcome to expanded coverage of the World Series of Poker Online Bracelet Series. Jeff Platt took us as far as he could go, but he ran out of gas. His ship sputtered, and we took over. We fired up the mothership here at PokerGO, and we are going to take you home from 9 players down to a champion. I am David Tuchman, joined by the one and only, the always lovely and always salty Melissa Burr. You know her on Twitter as Burberry. How are you, Melissa?
Doing good, doing good. I'd be doing better if I was at this final table, but still okay.
Okay, well, you know what? We can sit here and just talk shit about the remaining 9 players because they're here and you are not. How's that?
Do we know, I know one person here. I know one of them. I don't know anybody else. Do we know what their real, will we know who they are? While it's happening?
I know most of these players, okay?
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Just for example here, players on a break, by the way, so it gives us a little bit of leeway. We had a lot of excitement tonight. Norman Chad, yes, that Norman Chad. Norman Chad, ESPN, drove to Prim once again, just drove right over the border from California to Nevada. He played in this event. Inconceivably, he made a deep run, and he finished in 13th place. Unfortunately, not at the final table. I'm not going to lie, in all of my years of poker commentary, if I commentated on a Norman Chad final table and he actually got heads up or won the bracelet, it would be one of the highlights of my career. Unfortunately, that didn't happen here. Nathan Gamble, who won a bracelet in another 4-card game, he won a bracelet in PLO 8 or better. He made a deep run as well. He fell by the wayside in 14th place, and here we are with 9 players remaining. Gomez Hamburg, that is Upeshka de Silva. Many of you know who he is. He's already made a final table this summer. He has over $3 million in lifetime tournament winnings. 3 bracelets. He's looking for bracelet number 4. I will go through as many as I know here. I believe, and people might be eliminated right now because I'm going back and forth. William Romain is Slaw Wheel Ryham. He is in the mix as well. As I go through all of my notes and see exactly who is who. Who do you know, by the way? You know the guy I already mentioned, right?
No, I think Jimmy Fricky is double wiener.
No way, is he?
I'm pretty sure because he commented on Twitter something about us commentating, and he's like, you guys should root for double wiener, just saying, something like that. I'm guessing. So I mean, and he has 2 wiener.
Can we get confirmation from somebody?
I'm gonna look again, but I'm like 95% sure.
I got to tell you, now I'm excited. I was really excited about Nathan Gamble and Norman Chad. Obviously, I know them both. I play poker with both of them. But if Jimmy Fricky is at this in the final 9, I am super excited about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can get that confirmed or not. I don't know what it is. Do have some news. Pretty cool story from this particular guy on your screen. I want to read it here. I got a tweet like 3 hours ago from a guy named Gabriel Ramos. He says, "Hey Tuck, for when I make this 08 WSOP final table live stream, my name is Gabe Ramos. I am New Jersey Fitty Fish. We met at the series last year and played some cash stud high-low for a while. Cheers." Okay, that guy called his shot, and
wow.
Sure enough, he is still in. Okay? So we're playing Omaha 8 or better. Melissa, for those people out there that have no idea what game we're playing, they just stumbled upon this. How do you play 08? Very quickly.
Okay. It is a split pot game where half of the pot is awarded to the high hand and the other half is awarded to the low hand. You play 4 cards in your hand. You must use 2 in either direction to qualify. And 8 or better being you make the best low with 8 cards and below.
And straights are okay for low, right? Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, really good hands, right?
Really wheelie good hand.
A wheelie good hand. Well,
I'm coming with all the puns. Oh yeah.
She is bringing it. Apparently today is a special day. I've got Melissa Burr on, so I am wearing my Wonder Woman shirt. I hope you guys appreciate that. It doesn't really fit me anymore because I've been working out. I hope you guys see that. You guys notice that? No? Okay. Nobody does. It's okay. Unfortunately, I know Jeff Platt had some tech issues and couldn't go from one table to another. There is New Jersey Fitty Fish, by the way. Gabe Ramos on 1,000,000 chips, double wiener on his right. We cannot confirm this yet, but we believe that might be Jimmy Fricky. Anyway, so Jeff Platt took us as far as he could. He had some tech issues. We also are having some tech issues because, trust me, if we could get Melissa Burr, if we get Burberry on video, we would. But unfortunately, Gremlins came to the studio last night and chewed up some of the wires. Aiden did an amazing job just to get any sort of show out here. We got it all in. Set of kings. How about kings full? That's going to be good, right?
That's yeah. That's probably good.
Probably good.
Oh, that was Jimmy, I think. Oh, KevMath confirmed this. He says, I agree with Melissa's assessment.
But if you're saying it and KevMath is saying it, I am now comfortable saying that double wiener is Jimmy Fricky.
Yeah, his tweet says, let's see. His tweet to us says, go double wiener for no particular reason at all. Stop asking. I'm to infer that is him.
I love it. Let's hope it is.
And,
that would be
and
awesome.
he lives in Vegas.
Well, some other notables in the final 9. So I'm looking at the 9 here. Sosana is Ralph Perry. You remember him?
Oh, he's legendary.
I feel like I just took your breath away.
You did a little bit. I didn't think he'd be playing a 1K08 though.
Yeah. Ralph Perry, by the way, Sosana finished 3rd in the 2002 main event, won a bracelet also in 2006, the 1500 PLO. I played mixed games with him this past summer. And amazingly, the guy has been around. I mean, he is the oldest looking young guy I've ever seen.
I don't know how old he is.
But he has been literally cashing in these events since the 80s, and he looks like he's 55.
Huh.
We're going back and forth here. We're going to do our best. I am not in control of the going back and forth. So we've got Burberry in New Jersey. I am in LA, and PokerGO Studios, of course, in Vegas. So it's just going to switch on us, and we're going to just act on the fly. As you can see here, the limits are 25,000, 50,000, which means the betting, the blinds are 25,000, 50,000, which means the betting limits are 50,000, 100,000. Chipping up to 983,000. See if we can get a little bit of information on him. I don't think I have much on chipping up. Nope, I do not. So what happened, Burberry? I thought for sure you would make this final table.
Yeah, no, I think it's crap. I mean, I should obviously be playing here, but what can you do? Oh, it looks like Jimmy doubled up.
Go, Jimmy, go, right? There we go. Ralph Perry.
Am I allowed to be biased?
Yeah, of course you can. Why not?
Oh, okay, yeah. Definitely rooting for Jimmy. I hope that's him.
Why not? James the Bear, what's up? I adopted. KevMath in the house. What's up, KevMath? King Snipes. Bazam. JC Harris, Voldog. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We're going to be here until we crown a champion. Some expanded coverage. We have been covering just final tables. Jeff Platt's been doing an amazing job on his Twitch channel, taking us all the way to the final table. Unfortunately, tonight, he had some technical difficulties. So, like I said earlier, we fired up the mothership, and we are here a couple of spots early.
Jimmy gets half.
I do not know Keyscopy, unfortunately. I don't believe, unless I'm trying to look up the players right here. I don't believe I have anything on that particular player. Again, Gomez Hamburg, that is Upeshka Da Silva, 3-time bracelet winner. Sosana, Ralph Perry, also have the bracelet on his left. Do you know Keyscopy?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I tried to do like as many notes as I could on people that I had like played with in case they came up, and shocker, not one came up.
Listen, we have a research team. We have an extensive research team at PokerGo that goes through all of these players, and invariably, when we get down to 4, we know 1. It's just Murphy's Law. Home Fry 2 in the chat says, I'm a huge KevMath fan. I destroyed KevMath at the Run It Up team final table. I like it.
Love it.
James the Bear says, Tuck, please play that Tony G. Ralph Perry clip on the next break if we make it. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. That is classic. If you guys have not seen it, on the next break, go check it out. It is definitely worth seeing. I don't know if I'm going to give our producers another hurdle to jump over tonight. So as you can see, blinds are 25,000, 50,000. This is limit. So first raise is to 100. Then it's the 50K betting round on the flop. Then it's 100K on the turn, 100K on the river. We don't really talk about players in terms of big blinds. We say how many big bets each player has. Hey, Melissa, when you're playing in a limit game, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, Melissa just crushes high-stakes mixed games. She final tabled the Players' Championship, the 50K Players' Championship a few years ago. She was on the world-famous Under the Gun podcast about a month ago. One of my favorite guests of all time. She also, in January of 2019, she came in 488th in the No Limit Deep Stack kickoff event. She took home $1,115 for that. I know that was probably one of her most proud poker moments to date.
Mean, you know what? I don't even know if I made money in that then. It's super likely I lost a lot of money if I only placed that high.
Almost definitely. Ed K, evening to you as well. Ed K says evening to you. Were you able to log into Twitch or no? Could you not figure it out?
No, I can see the chat, but I can't chat. But then I was like, well, I don't even need to chat because I'm talking.
There you go. Right.
So,
you can chat. Just you can use your voice while they type.
Right. Jimmy's in the chat. I'm like confused. Is he in the chat is he multi-tabling the final table and the Twitch chat? I don't understand.
There's a distinct chance he is. Norman Chad and Nathan Gamble were doing it. We've had numerous players. Ryan Lang was like heads up for a bracelet, and he was still chatting in the Twitch chat. You can do it.
Oh my goodness.
It's all good.
I'm pretty sure it's on a delay, correct?
We are on a 2-minute delay, just so you don't. We don't want the analyst. They're not worried about me, but they don't want the analyst to kind of coach during a hand. So even though we have cards down, we don't want you to be like, well, if you've got any low here, you've got to call just because of pot odds. We don't want that. It's okay now because we're on a 2-minute delay.
Yeah, but I'm actually watching the table live because I had it up. I didn't know we were on a delay. It's great. I'm like watching. No wonder you didn't know what was happening. I'm like, oh, Jimmy doubled up. You're like, oh, did he?
Yeah, I just assumed you knew. Well, we have 2 tables, so you could have the other table open so you can keep us abreast of what's going on at the other table. Again, this is a 6 max event number 28, $1,000 Omaha 8 or better 6 max. So we've got one table of 5, as you can see, and the other table is a table of 4. Our chip leader is Key Scoopy, who started this hand with about 1.7 million. And certainly some other notables in the field. William Romain, who's had a really nice series up till now. That is Slaw Wheel Ryam, is currently 4th in chips. Gabe Ramos, who tweeted me, called his shot 3 hours ago, tweeted me, said he was going to be here. He is currently 5th in chips. Hey, okay, so Melissa, we're so accustomed to watching No Limit Hold'em, and we kind of understand now. Wow, a lot of action coming on this one. It's going all in. Ace 4s, Ace 4, 6-4, chop it up. Melissa, you still there?
Yes.
We lose you. I thought maybe you fell.
No, I didn't pass out. No, I'm still here.
I was going to have somebody check you. I was like, okay, is anybody close enough to Melissa Burr? Go to her house, make sure she's okay. So we're very accustomed to, watching No Limit Hold'em, and we know, when a player gets to X amount of blinds, they need to shove. That's more of a danger zone. In limit poker, specifically 08 in these split pot games, it's very different. At what point are you feeling uncomfortable with your stack? How many big bets?
Okay, so here's a funny story, and then I'll answer that. I never played tournaments. I always played cash.
Right.
The first limit tournament that I actually played, I was so uncomfortable the entire time because I didn't I'll buy in normally for 100 bets in any cash game. I'm just like so uncomfortable with the limited amount of bets I have that like I'm playing as if I'm like panicked at this point. So yeah, once I
We
got past that
Keyscopy just scooped in sorry, we just got an elimination there. Keyscopy with a deuce 4 for low, and he had quads for high. That's going to be good enough for the scoop. He's up to 2.2 million, and we are down to 8 players. Sorry to interrupt your story.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. So then, once I got over that fear, I realized that, having 5 to 10 bets the entire tournament is pretty standard. So.
Okay, so now you finally got comfortable with it. So now that you have played these tournaments, is 10 big bets that's like you're fine, right? You're good?
Yeah, I mean you're good too. You can't lose 2 back-to-back hands because then you're in panic mode. But if you can see here, the average is 5 bets. Am I reading this correctly? It's a million.
The average is 984,000 right now, and the big bet's 120,000. So what is that? 8 big bets?
Yeah, 8. I mean that's your average. That's kind of quick.
Your average is 8, and keep in mind, Keyscopy has 2.3 million. So Keyscopy's got he's got 20 big bets. So everybody else has none. I mean, Sosana, Ralph Perry has under 3 big bets.
Yeah, even with that many, I would be uncomfortable at some point. Like if I lost a big hand, that's not that much. You get in a big pot and you get raising the turn.
By the way, we're on hand for hand, by the way, since we are down to 7. It looks like we lost double. I don't know his last part of his thing. I can only see the double part. I apologize. Keith's got, by the way, won his seat in a $100 satellite. That's pretty nice. So Keyscopy has parlayed $100 into this. That's pretty amazing. We're going to get a lot of action on this 9-7-3-2 diamond board. Already 600,000 in there, 720 now. Board pairs. Low never gets there. Somebody's getting all of it. And it is the queens. Keyscopy with queens is going to take all of that up to 2.6 million. Keyscopy might finish this tournament now, like tomorrow. I mean, like right this, like in the next 6 minutes, possibly. Who knows?
That would be cool.
Melissa Burr, David Tuchman here for event number 28. This is a $1,000 Omaha 8 or better. We had 525 entries. 80 players were paid. Did you make the money at least?
No.
Oh man! Wow. Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. That was a dig because I knew you didn't make the money.
I know you did.
Sorry. Min cash is $1,546. First place, $110,000. We're down to 7. We are hand for hand for the final table. Once again, the rules are very simple. If you're new to this game, Omaha, you must use 2 cards. You get 4 cards. You must use 2 from your hand, but it's a split pot game. So half the pot is going to go to the high, and half the pot's going to go to the low. Remember, you always using 2 cards from your hand and 3 from the community, from the board. You can use different cards for the high and different cards for the low. If there aren't 3 different cards, 8 or lower, on the board, and aces can be high and low, there is no low. Like right now on a 9-5 deuce, no low is possible if you're new to this game. I remember when I first started commentating and playing 08, figuring out like, oh, I've got a live 6. That kind of stuff just blew my mind.
Yeah, it gets a little confusing when there's an ace high board and some of your cards get counterfeited. Understanding what, aces up and a live 3 would be, but
I still remember the first couple times I played, I was propping way back when in LA, and I'm playing, and like, I don't know, I turned the wheel, and I'm like, sweet! And then I got counterfeited, and somehow I was like, wait, how did I get quartered here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's never fun to get quartered.
I think we have some information on Vic B, by the way. Ramos, who I mentioned earlier, he was runner-up in the 2018 World Series of Poker 1500 mixed PLO, Hi-Lo, Big O. Nathan Gamble, by the way, finished 8th in that event.
Am I
So
still watching the
why?
same hand here? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Are you watching the delayed feed
I
that
have
they're
it.
giving us,
I
or are
have
you
it.
watching your feed?
I have it all up. I don't know what I'm supposed to be watching.
Well, okay, I'll help you out. Key Scoopy is right now thinking, so watch that
Okay.
hand.
Okay.
He just folded. Now it's on chipping up.
All right. Then I am, in fact, looking at the correct screen.
Awesome. Okay, so we're you and I are in the same place. This is good. You know, I feel like honestly doing a stream with you, I feel like we probably had to start early just to make sure that we were on the right page by the time the final table got here.
Yeah, there was a very good chance I fucked up this technology.
No, you're all good here. We've got an open from chipping up on the button. Vic B is going to raise. Can I get something on Vic B? Oh, Vic B, by the way, I know him. Okay, Vic B is Mark Ioli. Over $500,000 in live earnings. Do you know Mark Ioli?
I don't. I am not good with names and stuff.
Are you good with faces?
No, like unless they play in the game with me, or if I've played with them before, I just cannot. I just don't know many players.
All right, I get it. I understand.
Am I supposed to be guessing what these people have?
No. I mean, if you want to give us some, you're here for the analysis side of it. So if you want to offer any insight and analysis into this hand or any particular hand or strategy wise, that would be great.
Okay. Just want to be clear what I'm here for.
I mean, you're just keeping me company. How's that? Right now, that's all you seem. Right now, you're just keeping me company, which is great. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't want you to be awake by yourself at this god awful hour.
It's 1:17 in the morning in LA. I would be up no matter what, and I love this. So.
Yeah, I feel like if you're on the East Coast, this is really brutal for you.
We have done a Nevada versus New Jersey to see if there's a difference, and certainly more bracelets won by Nevada. Nevada is crushing New Jersey despite the smaller population. But then again, I imagine there's a lot more pros in Nevada than there are in New Jersey.
Yeah, I would guess that.
So once again, Vic B is Mark Ioli. We have that confirmed. So Sana, that is Ralph Perry. We lost De Silva to Key Scoopy. Key Scoopy with 2.5 million chips. Ace, King, Jack. Sosana was the opener in this small blind. Ralph Perry looks like he's going to go with this one. Possible low draw now, and diamonds. And diamonds get there. And I believe Ralph Perry is out. Yep, he is. Ralph Perry eliminated. Board was paired. I just want to double check and make sure he didn't make a full house. He did not. We were at the final table. Ralph Perry, the final table bubble boy, he earns himself $10,673, and we are down to 6. The remaining 6 players all guaranteed $14,813. Yeah, listen, for those of you who don't know Melissa Burr, by the way, once again, crushes cash games. She is she final tabled the 50K Players Championship. She is hysterical on Twitter. Feel free to just pipe in whenever you want, Melissa.
Okay.
You can follow her on Twitter at Burr with 5 R's, Berry. It's Burberry. Shout out to my man, New Jersey Fitty Fish here. That is Gabe Ramos, who literally called his shot 3 hours ago. He tweeted me. I apparently played stud high-low with him last summer at the World Series. I play stud high-low every summer at the Rio when we're there for the World Series. I apparently played with him, and here he is at the final table. 3 hours ago, he said, I'm going to get there, and he did. Slow wheel Ryan, by the way, also quite the player. That is William Romain. Not involved in this hand, but William Romain with a circuit ring. Has had a nice little series. He has 7 cashes here, plus a second place finish. Won $110,000 back in event number 13.
Somebody in the chat asked where I play mixed games in the U.S. I play at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
So what do you play now? I mean, what are you doing? You just fiddling your feet and just hanging out and chilling. You tweeted earlier, by the way, you guys missed it. I feel like we all missed out. Melissa Burr earlier on today said, I was looking forward to winning a bracelet in my underwear. I imagine that would have been a popular stream. Just saying. Just going to put it out there.
Yeah, and then I stuck my foot in my mouth because on Facebook, somebody, Lisa Pickle, who's in the chat, had said if I make the final table, she wanted me to stream me playing it. That would have been awkward.
Yeah, I mean, you could pull your covers up. You said you were actually going to win a bracelet in your underwear in bed. I don't know about you. My bed has covers. You can pull the covers over.
Where else would you play this from? Honestly,
I couldn't do it in bed. I would just be too relaxed. I need to be geared up. But that's just me.
Oh man, no. If you play enough of these, or you play enough, you have to be comfortable.
Yeah, I don't. I live in LA, so I clearly don't play enough of these. K Sparks opens up on the button, chipping up, goes 180, and then Mark Ioli says, let's go 240. So we've got a big pot brewing already 540,000 in there.
Yeah, Vic here is supposed to have a hand like 1, 2, 3, something that has value, holds up against both the other hands.
When you're thinking about starting hands like the premiums, I mean, obviously ABC 1, 2, 3 is a huge hand. Do you want to have? I mean, would you rather have 1, 2, 3 king, or do you want to have 1, 2, 3, 6?
It kind of depends. It depends on what your. My preference would be to always have 1, 2, 3 king because you have equity in the high hand. Some could argue the other way.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, it's like the common discussion between what's better, ace, deuce, 3 or ace, deuce, king. It's pretty much the same thing.
I like having the uncounterfeitable low, right? Don't you want the extra low?
Yeah, you do, and definitely you want to in a multi-way pot. But there's so many times the flop just comes king 9-9, and you can't even continue with your hand at all.
Right.
You have some semblance of a high hand. You can kind of continue on and c-bet and do a few different things, but you're handcuffed by the board. This
is a monster pot. Low never got there. Vic B, who you said should have 1, 2, 3. Well, he's got 1, 2, 3 king. The low didn't get there, and maybe he made a pair of kings.
He would have had to have something like 1, 2, 3 queen to even be at showdown here.
Yeah, and obviously ace queen would have been a straight. Clearly, he did not have that. He folds and he saves his last, not even a full big bet. He's got about one small bet left. Chipping up, by the way, did just that, up to 1.8 million now. Key Scoopy, by the way, still pacing the field up to 3 million. Mark Ioli all in for his last 76,000. Gabe Ramos, that is New Jersey Fitty Fish. 9, 6, deuce, deuce. Oh, a set of deuces. But the straight.
He has a flush.
And he's got a flush. There you go. Well, set of deuces, flush, straight. Thank you. That's what. Okay, you wanted to know why you were here? That's why you're here.
Oh my God, I'm here to read the board. Wow,
you are here to read the board. Well, I saw a set of deuces. I got excited. Then I looked up. Then I saw a straight. Then I looked down. And I saw the flush, but you said it first.
God, this Twitch chat will make you want to hang yourself.
No, yeah. Guys, be nice, okay? Come on. Be nice. Melissa does not do commentary. Like I said, she's just a cash game crusher. Okay, this is like tournaments are not her thing. She doesn't stream. She just prints money. Earlier this year, she printed money by eating chicken McNuggets. This is just what she does. Okay? This is a gift that she is giving to us to be here at all.
I don't know about all that.
I do. That's why I said it. So let's be nice, guys.
Hysterical streaming while she's playing Bed and Snacks. Yeah, that's the dream, right, Lisa?
Callie Funk says that K Parks is Kevin Sparks. I don't think Callie Funk's going to lie to me. I'm going to go with that. Kevin Sparks. That makes sense. Pay jumps are fairly significant, as you might imagine. All these players guaranteed $14,000. The pay jump between 6th and 4th, 16K. Second place is 68K. First place 110,000. Key Scoopy just continues to do the Scoopy thing.
Yeah, he plays a lot of hands.
It's fun. It's fun when you have a lot of chips and you play a lot of hands and you win them all, huh?
I mean, yeah, that's the dream. Some people would just like want to have those chips so you could play hands. It's so brutal when you only have you're handcuffed by so many bets. You just can't play the hands that you would in cash games. You'd push all the edges.
When you're down to your last, like, let's say your last, like, 2-3 big bets, do you prefer to go with a really good high or a really good low?
You kind of have to take what's given to you.
Board pairs. Looks like 6 is going to win. It looks like Vic B just doubled up again. Yeah. Wow. Diamonds never got there. The low never got there. Running jacks. And somehow Vic B's 2 pair were counterfeited, but still good. That was awesome for him. So Vic B goes from one small bet to 456,000. I'm sorry, you were about to say. I asked you that question and then I interrupted you. I apologize. You were saying if you're down to your last 2 big bets, you want to go high, you want to go low?
I mean, I think you would prefer to have a hand like Ace Deuce or Ace 3 before you would prefer a PLO rundown hand. That would be my preference.
Fair enough. Cali Funk says Burberry's Twitter game is strong as well. Yeah, no doubt. I would say she is, as far as like poker Twitter accounts, at this point, she's like top 5. Certainly top 10. It's definitely top 10.
Wow, that's
if you guys want to check out what she did during the entire summer, she would say today would be day 16 at the World Series of Poker, and then she would tell a story about what would happen today. It was hysterical.
Thank you. Somebody did not like it in the chat.
Yeah. You know what? The Card Master says it best. Twitch chat can be super toxic. Just ignore it, to be honest. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Vic B. Mark Ioli is an absolute machine. Mark Ioli, with his 5th cash of the series, will not go quietly into the sweet night. He was down to one small bet, and he has run that up to 936,000. New Jersey Fitty Fish is now our short stack with under 2 big bets. So we have, according to WSOP.com, K Sparks is Kyle Sparks. According to Cali Funk, it's Kevin Sparks. Okay, I think it's confirmed his last name is Sparks. We'll just call him K Sparks. How's that? Problem solved.
Wow, Nitty Fish must have had a really bad hand to not go with it here.
Watching this, does it make you even more salty because you're not here?
No. I'm really not that salty.
I mean, I was gonna say, the buy-in on this is $1,000. So compared to the games you normally play, that's, I don't want to diminish the amount of money. Obviously, $1,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people, but compared to the games you normally play, that's just not a lot.
No, but I mean, every amount has some significance, and for 110,000, be way significant.
Is that how much you won for the Chicken McNuggets bet?
Yeah, I wish.
Somebody bet her that she couldn't eat 60 Chicken McNuggets. I was like, are you kidding me? Okay, for anybody out there, if you ever make a bet with somebody who's actually like a professional gambler, a professional poker player, if they are accepting a bet, they know what they can do. Use your head. Just putting that out there.
God, we talked about running it back to 80 tonight.
80? Oh my! You know what? I don't want to say anything just in case the person you're gambling with is listening. I don't want to say anything. We've got a pretty wet board. Obviously, the low is possible. Deuce 3-4 out there. 2 spades, 2 clubs. Slaw wheel Rhyme. That's William Romain. Came to this final table second in chips. Currently third. But looking to change that with this hand. There's a call. Pot is 600,000. New Jersey Fitty Fish gets out of the way. Board does pair. None of the flushes get there. William Romain doesn't slow down. Another 120,000 in the pot.
He's supposed to have a wheel here.
How about like an ace 5-6? That'd be good.
Ace 5 will be good.
Action on chipping up. William Romain, once again, 234,000 in live earnings. Has another 784,000 in tournament winnings on 888 Poker New Jersey. So the guy is an online crusher. He has a circuit ring. He has a final table. He has a second place finish this series. Back in event number 13, he came in second place. So his second final table this summer. Cali Funk has come out and said, "It is Kyle. I'm drunk." Thank you, Cali Funk. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, you got Alan Kessler in the chat.
No way.
Oh, there he is.
Chainsaw Poker. You know what? Chainsaw thinks I don't like him. Chainsaw, I'm going to come
Why
out
would
and
he
say
think that?
I'm going to come out and say it here right at the thing. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you. Okay? Anybody who knows me knows that's the truth. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you. I genuinely think you're great for poker, and I do like you. Okay?
Oh, Alan's necessary in poker, and anyone
absolutely.
says otherwise, just like is a hater.
Right? Absolutely. Oh, little check raise here. All in. We got a flush draw. He gets there. Board
He's
does
not low and a flush.
Not low and a flush. Good catch there. See, that's it. You're Johnny on the spot. Burberry on the spot. I love it. Not low with a flush draw gets there, and Kyle Sparks is up to 583,000. Keith Scoopy down to 2.2 million. Still our chip leader, but a far cry from where he was just a few moments ago. And things changed so quickly in this game. Norman Chad was third in chips with 14 left. And we were talking about it before the show, and my producer was excited. I was excited. We were hoping Norman would get here, but things happened so quickly. Lost two hands, and suddenly he's out. Louder Soft says there is nothing as toxic as 60 chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, 80 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, she actually, so there was this bet, guys. If you missed it, it was pretty funny. There was a bet that she made that she had to eat 60 chicken McNuggets, and they live streamed it. I watched it, and I wanted her to do the, you guys know from the Goonies, the Truffle Shuffle? I think Deuce 5. Deuce 5 and trip aces. Chipping up to 1.8 million, and I believe it is now William Romain in the chip lead. Basically a three-way race there. Pretty much tied for the chip lead. So anyway, I asked Burberry to do a truffle shuffle after she ate 60 chicken McNuggets. She not so politely declined.
I was definitely polite.
I suppose. I guess it could have been worse.
I do appreciate you donating to charity. I don't appreciate you trying to get me throw up on YouTube.
Hey, I donated, I think, $200 or $300 for charity that day.
Yeah. Vanessa got me too.
All because just so you could eat them. They're screaming. They want Chainsaw. I adopted says Chainsaw is a man of the people. I don't know which people, but it is a man of the people. Blinds are 40,000, 80,000. As you can see, the limits are now 80,000, 160,000. This pot 640. Vic B, that's Mark Ioli, suddenly has chips. He's going to let that one go, and chipping up is now our chip leader with 2.1 million. Unfortunately, I don't believe we have anything on chipping up. No.
I played cash with him this week.
What was that?
I played cash. I was playing. I think I was playing 1530 with him this week.
With chipping up?
Yes. I don't know who he is, but I was playing with him.
I mean, can we? Oh, so okay, so it was just randomly playing 1530. Okay, was he good?
Yeah. We didn't play that long. He played a lot of hands. Oh,
Getting all in here. Yep, Queen 9, 10, 10.
Drawing pretty slim here, offsuit
Yep.
check.
And that is it. Top set here. Set of kings for Slow Wheel Ryan, William Romain with the knockout blow. And my man, Gabe Ramos, who tweeted me earlier today saying, I am going to make this final table, Tuck. Sure enough, he did that. Unfortunately for him, his run is over. He finishes in sixth place, takes home $14,813, and then there were 5. Once again, Melissa Burberry on Twitter is in the booth, so to speak. Casket Romance, what's up? She's Casket Romance says, how long did she have to eat the 60 chicken McNuggets? What was it, an hour?
1 hour, yeah.
Oh.
I could not go to the bathroom. Any purging of any type resulted in a DQ.
She was so comfortable for the vast majority. She's like dipping it too. She was even using sauce.
I think the sauce is pretty necessary.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it counteracts the salt, and everything goes down a little smoother.
Good to know.
I don't know. There's somebody who came on Twitter and gave me that GTO strategy.
Diamonds do not get there. And it looks like, Keith Scoppy's going to get the low. And a pair of 9s, good enough.
Oh, Keith Scoppy just took a pretty brutal beat there.
You want to elaborate on that, or that's it?
I have to bring up the hand history. I feel like he had to hit just a 9 for half.
Really? Was he? Oh, wow. That's pretty sick.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He had the flush draw. Oh, my God.
Okay.
But he was getting
You can actually, by the way, the one thing you can do, since you are in New Jersey, you can go to if you see an interesting hand, feel free, go to the hand replayer, take a look at it, and come back with your analysis, your insight. We'd love it. My goal each and every stream is to get a little bit smarter.
I can't promise that.
I'm not counting on it. And if the first 45 minutes of the stream were any indication, I don't think anybody in the chat is counting on it either.
No, they're not. No.
I had Burberry, by the way, on my podcast about a month ago. It was one of my favorite ones, and I've done a lot. Backdoor spades get there. Backdoor low gets there. Chipping up. And was going to bet. How about deuce 3 for nut low and ace jack for the high? He's going to scoop it up there, $2.4 million. And nothing going Keith Scoopy's way. He got it up to $3.2 million, couldn't lose a pot, and now he can't win one.
Well, he's played every hand to get all those chips. He's playing every hand now, too.
I mean, if you play every hand, you're going to win your fair share, right?
Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it.
I know you're not a tournament player, but obviously you've had some success playing tournaments. Of course, you final tabled the Players Championship, the 50K Players Championship a few years ago. What are the main strategic differences that you use going into a tournament as opposed to a cash game?
When you approach a tournament, you have a different mentality going into it because you only have an X amount of chips. And there's no redos, so you can make a few mistakes in cash, but you can compensate for them over time. But most people will likely never see the long term of tournaments, so you are not pushing in all of the edges that you would in cash games. You're kind of preserving your chips to be sure that you're gonna come out with some piece of the pot at the end.
So, okay, by the way, William Romain made a wheel there with the ace 3 up to 2.7 million. Him and chipping up, just kind of one-upping each other hand after hand. Keith Scopy just going the wrong direction, now below 1 million. So in a cash game where you might go for thin value, because I know obviously, especially in limit poker, going for thin value is imperative if you want to be a winning player. In a tournament, do you not go for those thin value bets as much? Flush gets there. And Kyle Sparks doubles up there to 807,000. By the way, Kyle Sparks is Ohio grown, hence the 740 in his name. That's an Ohio area code. This is his first ever World Series of Poker cash. So congratulations to Kyle Sparks for as long as we know. So yeah, I mean, so when you're playing in a tournament, if it's close, do you opt to not go for thin value, check it back in those spots?
In some of them, it depends. But yeah, in some spots I would. Whereas in cash games, I would never ever think about it twice.
I mean, if you're playing in cash games these days, what's a good win rate in limit poker? Is it like 1.5 big bets an hour type thing?
Oh man, they used to say that was like the standard about 20 years ago. They would say if you can win, 1.5 big bets. But they were talking about limit games like Limit Hold'em, which were going faster. When you have all these mixed games these days, Badusi and all the draw games, they take a long time to deal, and dealer error, and it's brought all the win rates down just because you're not playing as many hands.
Right. I was going to say, especially when you start playing split pot games, it becomes really, really difficult. Then you switch a game and you're like, okay, new game. And then the dealer might not know what's going on. And then you get, dealer changes every 30 minutes. Then they spend 15 minutes trying to figure out who hasn't paid. Then somebody argues with the floor man because they want timeout, whatever it is.
Oh, wow. He's got
wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a beat.
That is really, wow.
No offense to the announcer, she is not a tournament player. Why is she here commentating? Tuck could not find anybody else.
No, that's not true. I could find a lot of people. I actually, like I said, Melissa Burr is one of the most well-respected poker players in the poker community. She crushes. And like I said, I mean, how many people do you know that final table, the 50K Players Championship?
Chainsaw almost did that year.
There you go. Melissa Bye, I'm going to get him, okay? 840,000 in there. Vic B, it's been a roller coaster ride. We're getting all in. Ace 3. Vic B is going to get the low, and it looks like Key Scoopy is going to get the high, and we're going to continue on here. Once again, Vic B, that is Mark Ioli. K Sparks, that's Kyle Sparks. Chipping up, we don't know anything about him, but we do know that he played 1530 with Melissa Burr yesterday. Slow Wheel Ryan, that's William Romain, an absolute online crusher. And Key Scoopy, unfortunately, we don't know anything about him either. Thank you, Sofa Perdido, for your kind words. Much appreciated. So William Romain opens on the button. K Sparks makes the call. How dangerous it is. I mean, some common mistakes in 08 is going for naked lows without a high. Is that a common mistake beginners make?
Yeah, a lot of players will chase the wrong sides of pots. This is going to be a chop.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I don't even know what we're talking about. Oh my God.
That's okay. No, what I was asking you was, is there like common mistakes that people that are playing this game, beginners to this game, make? People that maybe, they go from No Limit Hold'em to PLO, and then they're like, oh, PLO 8 looks fun, and they go, oh, maybe I'll start playing 08. And one of the things that I've always noticed is in split pot games, when you're going for half the pot and you're not guaranteed to get half that pot, it's usually a bad formula. That's usually a recipe for disaster.
A lot of players are calling for half, and by and large, they're doing incorrect math because they're not able to scoop the pot ever, but they'll still keep coming with those flush draws. And that's a common mistake that players from scooping games, where they all win one side, they fall in love with that idea.
So, like, let's say for example, the flop comes out 8-6-3, right? Actually, this is a perfect example. So let's say here this is actually not a perfect example, but let's say it was 8-6-3 instead of Jack 8-5, so the low was already out there, and it was a 2 flush. you're saying if you only have, even if you have the, even if you have the nut flush draw to the high in a heads up situation, if you're only drawing the half and hoping that you get the club, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make your hand first, and still any two low cards in someone else's hand is going to take half, no matter you have the highest flush ever, still going to lose half to the low.
Which, by the way, is so frustrating. There's nothing more frustrating. Ace Jack and is going to take it all. Ace Jack takes it all. Key scoop you back up to 2.3 million. That guy plays a lot of hands, and or girl. We don't know anything about Key Scoopy. One of the most frustrating things in split pot games is I play a lot of stud 8, and I love that game, is when you make, like, I've made a straight flush and got half the pot.
Yeah, a lot of players get frustrated with that early on, and it takes a little bit of time to realize that you want all these players drawing to the third nut low, so they're just giving money away.
Yeah, you're like, you turn your hand over, you're especially if it's like let's say it gets heads up on 5th Street, so there's not a ton of dead money in the pot already. You're not going to win a lot, and you proudly turn over straight flush, and the other guy's like, oh, I made my 87. Cool, give me half the pot. Yeah, Casket Romain says beginners love chasing low or high with no scoop ability. And that's the first thing I learned when I started playing split pot games. I was kind of thrown in by fire because I was hired as a prop player at the Bicycle Casino in LA. And I had to play, I played Hold'em, but I had to play 08, Stud 8, all these games that I really didn't have a ton of experience playing. So I was thrown in and I had to learn. And I had a couple of people kind of take me under their wing. And the first thing they taught me was just, you need to play hands that can scoop. Continue with hands that can scoop. Don't go for half the pot. I mean, unless you're a lock to win half the pot.
Well, ideally, you want to try to make a complete hand, a complete two-way hand, and use, ideally, you want to use all 4 of your cards.
Players are going to break in about 7 minutes. Clubs out there. No low draw, no low yet. Vic B deciding whether he wants to go with it or not. He's got 466 behind, so he's got about 3 big bets. JC Harris, that's a good point. And Vic B is going to win that with trip aces. JC Harris points out, says, even if you catch the nut low, you can still get quartered. I'll go one further than that. And I'm sure, Melissa, you've been in this situation. How many times in your career, it's probably just too many to even count, have you seen players get 1/6 of the pot?
Oh, man, that happened multiple times tonight. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
It hurts. Yeah, because getting quarter is bad, but getting a 6 is, ugh.
And I've seen situations. Have you ever played in a game where you've got the nut low and the way the hand is played out, you're absolutely certain that at least one other player has it, maybe 2, but you've got no high possibility at all? Have you ever mucked in a situation like that?
You'd have to be relatively sure, but I guess if you're ever going to do that, you could make an argument to do that in a tournament more so than a cash game.
Chainsaw in the chat. What's up? Alan Kessler had his first cash a couple of days ago here at the World Series of Poker. Chainsaw on that list of people with the most cashes all time without a bracelet. Another player on that list who's having just an amazing summer. He's top 10 on the 100K leaderboard is Roland Israel Ashville. I believe he is Pringles 12. I think that's his online name.
Roland does really well in tournaments.
The guy has, like, I'm not even exaggerating. He has something in the neighborhood of 125 cashes. Not only has he never won a bracelet, he never even finished in second place.
He goes off in the 25K draft pretty much every year.
He's a cashing machine.
Yeah, he always does well.
You just pencil in. You can just pencil in 12 cashes every summer. So for Perdido says biggest mistake new players make is playing hands like 6, 7, 8, 9. Talk about the problems, Melissa. What are the problems with a hand like that?
The problem with that hand is that you need to flop pretty specific hands to win the high. And if you make the other side of your hand, it's likely that you're going to make it with a low hand. So that kind of restricts you to only a few straights and the full houses with 8, 9. But you flop 3, 4, 5s and you have 6, 7, you're still going to be vulnerable to every set and every flush draw because you're probably getting free rolled.
Look at that. Burberry dropping the knowledge. I love it.
Keyscopy is supposed to have ace queen here. He can't really have any other hand.
He's not doing this with queen 9, huh?
No, because Vic just doesn't have a lot of chips, and he knows he's going to likely call.
Well, Vic B is certainly thinking about it.
Yeah, he's getting a sick
What's
price
the
to
worst
call,
hand you got? I was going to say, what's the worst hand you're calling with here? I mean, he's got to save these last bets. Obviously, in a cash game, you're going to be calling a little more liberally, but a tournament, he's got to preserve every chip. What's the worst hand you're calling with? Are you folding sets there?
I don't know why. I don't know what hand he would have bet the river that he had to fold. So I'm kind of inclined to think that he didn't really have that much because he couldn't call. So the raise by Keyscopy is kind of irrelevant. He could have just got to showdown with that hand, but that's why I say I think he would have to have ace queen there.
What a boss. Kevin Gerhardt is in the chat, says, I played exactly one World Series of Poker event this summer. He played one event. He's 1 for 1. Not one cash for 1. He's 1 bracelet for 1.
Must be nice. I'm like 0 for like 50.
How many have you played?
I don't know. To be honest. I played all the limit events.
I'm saying you don't really play no limit, do you?
I mean, I went through a phase where I played no limit, and the one and only time I played the main event, that was the year I was kind of studying no limit.
Ace, ace, queen here. This is Key Scoopy, by the way, who's back up to 3 million. This guy has gone from 2 million to 3.3 million, down to 900,000, back up to 3 million. We're playing 100,000, 200,000 limits right now. Average is still 8 big bets.
What just happened here?
What did he call down with just 10s?
Yeah. I guess he sleeps good at night.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, in Omaha 8 or better, it's just really easy for your opponent because aces are such a trump card in this game.
Yeah, it's probably the most commonly played card. So it's a weird payoff.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I imagine there are some bluffs that he actually might even beat 10s there.
Yeah, just by accident.
Right. I was bluffing, but I guess it was a value bet. Either way, Slow Wheel Ryan, William Romain up to 2.6 million. Key Scoopy still our chip leader on 2.7. Vic B, who was on death's door about 35, 40 minutes ago, ran that up to 1.3 million, but he's back there again with just over one big bet, pretty much committing himself here. I can't see a scenario where he folds. Artem's 15, wanting to know who the guest commentator is. Sorry, what did you say, buddy?
K-Sparks is trying to get it in too. You're going to have 2 all-ins here.
Looks like it. We got a side pot already. Ace, queen, 6, no suits. Low draw possible. William Romain almost definitely going to put Sparks in there. He does. Ace, deuce versus 2 pair.
Oh, that's so crazy. 6, 8, deuce, 3 is going to 3/4 them.
Wow. Yep, ace, deuce, 3 for Kyle Sparks. He gets a quarter. Vic B with the 8, 6, deuce, 3. Up to 575,000. He will not go away. Once again, that is Mark Ioli. Chainsaw, by the way, agreeing with you. Vic B says bad to bet out the river if you can't call the raise.
Yeah, I don't actually know who everyone is, so I don't actually want to diss them too bad. But yeah, I don't know what hand you could have there.
Even like you said, I mean, even more pronounced though in a tournament where your chips are so valuable, you can't afford to lose a big bet there.
I mean, I guess you can if you're totally empty and you're risking 1 bet to try to win 12 or 13.
What's up, Thallo? Thallo in the house. Check, check. Don't see that every day. Chipping up says, I'll take it then. Mark Aioli in the tank. Once again, Melissa Burr joining me. Chainsaw, will you let the chat know who Melissa is? There's like 3 or 4 people in there that are kind of like, giving her a little bit of some issue. I don't think you guys realize how lucky we are to have Burberry in the booth tonight. Been a lot of fun. Players are on a break. We're down to 5. What's your favorite game, by the way? I know you play all the mixed games.
My favorite's Stud 8.
What about it do you love?
I think there's a lot more intricacies to that game than any other one. Equities are almost impossible to calculate, and there's just more availability for people to make mistakes.
We should play heads up.
Okay.
For fun. I mean, just for like small stakes, so I don't get killed too much.
I'm in.
Way back in the day, actually, when I lived in London, I used to play Stud 8 on full tilt for a heads up. That's way back in the day.
God,
and I believe I used to play against Alan Kessler. Way back then. Let's take a look at the chat here. Bazam, what's up? Adrock 412, CBX 28, Sleevy 98, James the Bear, DJ B. Well. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. It is 1:57 in the morning here on the West Coast, nearly 5 in the morning for Burberry. And we are 5-handed. The remaining 5 players all guaranteed $21,000. Just a reminder, we are back at it tomorrow. Yep. Every single day in the month of July, we are here for a bracelet event. Tomorrow night, we've got the 2K No Limit Hold'em tournament. And joining me in the booth is the 2015 main event champion, 3-time bracelet winner, Joe McKeon, provided he doesn't pull a Nathan Gamble and make the final table, which with Joe is like 50-50. So 525 players started this journey. 80 get paid. Min cash was $1,546. Norman Chad once again made a very deep run. Norman Chad, by the way, how about props to that guy? He played 2 events. 2. And he has 2 cashes. And 1 13th place finish. So pretty awesome. Once again, Melissa Burr, my guest, a high stakes mixed game specialist. What's the stupidest game you play? Apparently, Burberry took a break, so I'll bring in Phil Ivey. Phil, what's your stupidest game you play? Archie? Yeah, it's a pretty dumb game, huh? Yeah, Archie's a terrible game. There are countless poker games out there. I am in fact playing a 21-game mix with Nathan Gamble, Norman Chad, and countless others. It is, and there's just some games in there are just stupid. Archie being one of them. There's no doubt. Sleevy 98 says, "Hey, Chainsaw Poker, I challenge you to a heads-up, no-limit hold'em nugget eating contest for rolls." Speaking of that, talk about the poker world. You can always count on Poker Twitter for some entertainment, and obviously the last few days has certainly provided that, whether it's Daniel Negreanu and his rants, and now Doug Polk, and now they're challenging each other. Does that ever end up happening? Who knows? I know the original challenge from Doug Polk seemed a little bit unfair. Like, let's play 4 tables, heads up, online. And Daniel actually called him out and said, okay, so you want to play the games you're really good at in your specialty. But the last tweet I saw, which certainly is interesting, is Doug coming back saying, okay, we each pick 1 game, which I think could be really, really interesting. Thank you, Bazam. Appreciate it. Melissa, you back here? I would say there's at least a 31.7% chance that Burberry just passed out. I don't know, but there's at least a chance. Norman Chad is a beast. You said it right, J.C. Harris. Once again, thanks for joining us. 525 players started this journey. It was a $1,000 tournament, $1,000 Omaha 8 or better. Key Scoopy, his stack has been a roller coaster ride. He's got the low locked up. And I believe they're going to chop this up. Yeah, they are. Pair fives are good. Wow. So one thing about this game, it's hard to knock people out because, you know, they've got a good low or they've got a medium low, but then they get like, you know, the escape hatch high, or they've got an okay high and then they, you know, they got a deuce 7 and they like back into their low somehow. Chainsaw says Padugi is the worst game. Chainsaw, Alan, you like Padugi better than Archie? What about like Drama Doogie? We do apologize for the technical difficulties. Stick with us. We'll be here. Again, it is Mark Ioli who is all in. Oh, wow. I believe they're going to chop this up once again. Yeah. Not all that exciting. I was like, no. Key Scoopy still on 2.8 million. Vic B on 450,000. Apparently we lost Melissa Burr. I don't know why. Don't know what happened. We will have a research team on this, though. Like I said, we have an extensive research team. His name is Saum. He gets all the bios for the players, feeds me information throughout the night, gave me a great quote earlier on. Had Norman Chad made this final table, I was going to say, what sweet irony that Norman Chad could be playing for a bracelet all in here. King Queen. I think, yeah, Vic B's going to double up here. No low. The low never got there. And Key Scoopy and Vic B continue to battle. And Vic B that time gets the best of them, back up to 950,000. So I was going to say here, and I can't take credit for this. This is all Saum says, what sweet irony that Norman Chad could win a bracelet on a stream where we can't hear him speak. Truer words were never spoken. So apparently you guys can't see me. I'm hoping you can watch the table and at least hear my voice. 3 Yanks, he says, we can't see your beautiful face, David. It's okay. I look the same. It's 2 a.m. Still me. Got an all in here. It is Kyle Sparks who is all in. 2 pair he's got. And it looks like they're going to chop this up. They are. William Romain with the ace-7 for the low. Kyle Sparks with 2 pair for the high. And we continue to get these all-ins and continue to get shot pots. We are absolutely aware that the camera is down. We know. Who was short stack, was able to double up and has now laddered up to at least $30,000. Yeah, Bazam says it best here. Vic B, Mark Ioli has 9 lives. I Adopted says we need Chainsaw in the booth. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? No, like I said, we do apologize for our technical issues. Action to Mark Ioli. Once again, Key Scoopy, just being the aggressive player. Ace 9-7, diamonds out there. Now the low is out there. Once again, you must use 2 cards from your hand. It's a split pot game, hence Omaha 8 or better. The low gets there, and you see slow wheel William Romain getting out of the way. Dog guy says, okay, we can see the table and you can hear my voice. Okay, fair enough. Sofa Perdido says the WSOP streams are cursed today. 3 streams, all with tech issues. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, gremlins, apparently. Stick with us. We're going to be here. Wow. Key Scoopy, did he just call there with 6-5? Man, his 2-pair gets counterfeited and still stubborn. He doesn't go anywhere. Down to 1.5 million. I tell you, Key Scoopy likes to play a lot of hands. Sleevey98 says, we lost your voice. I think my voice is back. I was told my voice would only be gone for like 6 seconds. So hopefully it is back. Our tech team is currently trying to get Melissa back. Again, I don't know what's happened. And if you're counting on me to fix it, you're in trouble. Okay, apparently you guys can hear me. That's good. As long as you can see the table and you can hear me, we're good to go. A set of 3s are good. Look at that, though. A set of 3s are good for the high. Slow wheel Ryan had a set of deuces and the low. Blind still 50,000, 100,000. Limits are 100,000, 200,000. So each player with an average of 10 big bets. That's not terribly short. I mean, we've got some room for poker, especially in a split pot game. What's up, Kev Math? Kev Math in the house. Chainsaw in there. Thank you all for joining us. Once again, we started with 525 players. We are down to our final 4. William Romain, online crusher, already has a 2nd place finish during this series. That was back in event number 13. Can he close the deal out today? He is currently 2nd in chips. Vic B with the raise. Key Scoopy folds. For Key Scoopy to fold his big blind, he must have had like trip 9s. Once again, we are back at it tomorrow. I'm gonna come out and say it, even though I have nothing to do with the technology side of it. I'm gonna go out there and say that tomorrow night is gonna go off without a hitch. There'll be no issues whatsoever. All these problems will be fixed by tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we've got a $2,000 no limit hold'em event. It's gonna be a star-studded affair, and I've got the 2015 main event champion, 3-time bracelet winner Joe McKeon joining me in the booth for that one. Nine, 3 deuce, 2 hearts out there. Vic B getting involved with this one. Has 3.5 big bets behind. See if he wants to go with this one or not. Rob Sotheby says, Key Scoopy really in from $100 Satty. That's what we got, which tells you a little bit more about him, you know? And this apparently is the hand that Mark Ioli wants to go with. Queen of spades on the turn. That doesn't complete any of the straight draws, flush draws, or low. But yeah, the rumor is Key Scoopy won a $100 satellite to get into this, and he has parlayed that into at least $30,000. $30,474 to be exact. First place, of course, $110,000. I imagine shipping up is done with this, unless he's going to check raise. Unfortunately, we don't have any information about shipping up, and he does let that one go. Vic B, Mark Ioli up to 1.3 million. Limits will go up in 4 minutes. William Romain with the walk. Rumor had it, by the way, we don't know this for sure, but Jimmy Fricke is double wiener, who had a great run in this as well. Nathan Gamble made a run at his second bracelet of the series. He finished in 14th. Norman Chad, of course, the legendary ESPN commentator, finished in 13th. I'll let you guys chew on this one. For my money, I think Norman Chad and Lon, for that matter, I think they both belong in the Hall of Fame. For what they have done for poker, the growth of poker, and where they are in the history of the game, I believe they both belong in the Hall. Key Scoopy, up and down. He goes. Backdoor clubs get there. The board pairs. The low is already in. Anxie asking who got in for 100. It was Key Scoopy who was involved in this hand right here. Thank you, Ralcock. Wasn't planning on doing 08 by myself, but that is the hand we've been dealt. Pun intended. Hope you guys stick with us. Thank you so much for joining us. So I guess tonight, the rest of the way at least, you guys are my guest. Gibson95, what's up? Gypsy Meat Whistle. Anxie, Chainsaw Poker. Hey, Chainsaw, let's do commentary this way. How's that? Ace 4 for low. Aces for high. Give me the whole pot, Vic B. Vic B now on 2 million chips. He's suddenly second in chips. Mark Ioli will not go away. Just a reminder, we were six-handed. Mark Ioli, Vic B, was down to one small bet. And he is here. Especially in these limit tournaments. I mean, it's true in anything. I mean, we saw Chance Corneth earlier this summer come back from 1/9 of a big blind. He had one ante, basically, and he came back to come in second place in that tournament. But in limit poker especially, you always want to, if you can save that last bet, that last whatever it is, you do it. And we've seen, I mean, Mark Ioli did that a couple of times where he was down to just one big bet, 1.5 big bets, one small bet, and he saved it, and he was able to run it up. Pretty crazy. Kev Matt, the legend that is. He's been following the GG series. I want to do a shout out to our man, Robert Romanello, by the way. Roberto Romanello, the UK phenom, completed the Triple Crown a few nights ago. He had already had a WPT and an EPT under his belt, but he won his first World Series of Poker bracelet. So congratulations to Roberto Romanello. So it looks like we have Melissa back. So at the conclusion of this hand, I will go silent for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe, but we'll get Melissa back and it'll be the two of us calling the action for the last 4 hands. So if you can't hear me, that is why. $120,000, $240,000. Slow wheel Ryan, William Romain. The opener in this one, Vic B. Involved in this pot. He's down to 1.2 million. This pot's already 660,000 on a king, king, queen, 2-diamond flop. And chipping up to 1.8 million now as we continue. Do apologize for the technical difficulties tonight, guys, as we trudge through what is event number 28, $1,000 08 or better, Omaha 8 or better tournament. 525 players whittled down to our final 4. And apparently we are not getting Melissa back. So it's just going to be me for the rest of the night. First place, 110,000, of course, the most coveted piece of jewelry in all of poker. Key Scoopy betting this like he's got a wheel. Certainly possible. Now, keep in mind, remember, you must use 2 cards from your hand if you're new to Omaha 8 or better. Having an ace in your hand does not give you the wheel, but having ace 5 or ace deuce certainly does. I imagine, I don't know if Vic B was considering what took him so long. Without a 6 in your hand, I guess it's always just a call, right? Gibson95 says Burberry is the best. Yeah, you guys got to follow her on Twitter. Give her a follow. She is hysterical on Twitter. 5 in the Hold on, I hear something. I hear something.
I'm here.
Whoa! Oh, I was worried you fell down. I was going to send somebody to your house.
No, technical difficulties on my end. My phone just like randomly restarted. I guess there were updates and it just like planned that update at the most opportune time.
Well, you missed. Key Scoopy just won this pot here with ace 10 of clubs. He's up to 2.3 million. Vic B, by the way, was back down to 1 big bet and then back up to 2 million. He's now on $1 million. We lost a player.
I was actually able to keep watching it.
Well, there you go. Any keen observations from watching?
I think somebody in the chat mentioned who Key Scoopy is. I think Kevin Gerhardt said something. He definitely dropped a name. I don't know if it's right.
Oh. I don't know. So Melissa Burr is back. Burberry is here with me. I'm David Tuchman. Thanks for joining us. We have 4 players remaining. 4 players are all guaranteed $30,474. Pretty big pay jumps. We talk about ICM ad nauseum when it comes to no limit hold'em. How much does that play into a limit tournament like this?
Just as much. The payouts might be a little bit more even, but it counts the same.
So, I mean, if you're, for all these players, you're talking about real huge pay jumps. I mean, the difference between 4th and 3rd is 15K. 4th and 2nd is 38K.
Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty, but I think like I said, I don't play a lot of tournaments, so I'm not really sure if this is pretty standard, but they seem kind of even to me.
Yeah. I mean, Key Scoopy looked like he was running away with it earlier, but obviously he has come back to the field, and now it is William Romain, slow wheel Ryan, who is there. Low never gets there. So the spot's got 1.4 million in there. I have to imagine that Vic B has at least a 9 here, right?
I mean, I think he could be betting a good ace here, because Key Scoopy looked someone up with 10s earlier on an ace board. So, I mean, he could have anything down to an ace.
That's a good point. I mean, if you know that Key Scoopy's not folding a hand like 10s, I guess you can bet a good ace.
You could bet any ace.
Right. Seems pretty thin, but hey. I mean, there's 1.68 million in there, so it's hard to imagine that Vic B only has just a good ace there.
I don't know. I've seen stranger things.
For sure. 5:23 in the morning for you. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
What time do you normally go to bed? I mean, you're a poker player, so it's not like you're waking up early, are you?
No. I mean, we usually have our conversation at like 3 in the morning. I'm usually up till about then, 3, 4.
I was going to say, okay. Chipping up to started this hand with 1.6 million. Vic B on 1.7 million. And it really is anybody's tournament at this point. 9s are cheap once again. A bet from chipping up and the hand's over. Has Norman Chad, by the way, ever brought you a Starburst?
Oh, no. And I would never take one. I hear they're bad luck.
They're bad luck?
Yeah. He jinxed my good friend Jules with an unlucky Starburst.
You know, it's kind of funny. He brought me a Starburst in the main event on day 4, and I did get knocked out that day.
I feel like he passed out like at least 100, and yeah, I don't think they did well.
So GTO is just do not go for that. Don't go for the Starburst here. We're going to chop this one up. Key Scoopy is certainly the wild man at this table. He is the loose cannon. Never quite know what he's going to show up with. Again, he got in here, or she got in here, via a $100 satellite.
Good for them.
$360,000 a piece goes in there pre-flop. Another 240 on the turn, and Key Scoopy back up to 2.2 million. And back in the chip lead.
Key Scoopy's been doing a lot of betting. I'd be curious to see how many times he actually had it in this tournament.
I mean, if you were playing against Key Scoopy in this situation, what adjustments might you start making?
I would be 3-betting him to isolate him in pots, drive out the other players, just continue to play his range heads up. If I was on his left, if I was on his right, I might even limp re-raise, knowing that he's such a loose cannon.
And I imagine you're going to be value betting super thin against that particular player.
For sure. I would have been I've been really impressed. My whole opinion would be different of him if he was actually correct in calling with those 10s earlier.
Do you think he was?
No, I would probably think he's a genius if he called down with those 10s.
Yeah, it's amazing how results oriented we can be, as poker players. Even somebody as accomplished as you, and I've done a lot of commentary, and we always don't be results oriented, but still we're human, and more often than not, we're like, well, it won, so I guess maybe it was a good call.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of keeping an open mind with him. He's been doing all of the betting, and he just can't have it all of these times, but he's been getting a lot of folds, so who knows? He could be a genius.
Well, he's still here, and there's 4 players left, and somehow he has satellited his way. He has parlayed $100 into at least $30,474, so certainly doing something right. We've had some great stories this summer, and this could be, certainly one of them. Norman Chad almost making a final table. Ryan DePaulo winning a bracelet in a parking lot. The other day, we had Rampage Poker winning while he was streaming on YouTube. The guy he came out and said, Ethan Yao comes out and says, I play 1-3 cash games, and I'm a loser. I don't win those games. And then he went on to win $168K in a bracelet.
Good for him.
I love that. I love stories like that.
Oh man, I love those stories. I prefer those.
Michael Leck, did you see Miguel Fiesta, Michael Leck's dance after he won?
No.
Oh, that's legendary. Still one of my favorites. We're going to show you that, guys, on Friday. We'll try to put together a little bit of a best of the series. And that one was certainly a lot of fun. Slow Will Ryan. Yeah, he's got it's just ace king with a 7.
Yeah, it's weird that Key Scoopy doesn't have any kind of low card lower than 7 to get half of this.
Right. Much just like that, Slow Wheel Ryan. That is William Romain back in the chip lead, and a little bit bigger lead now. He's got 2.9 million. He won a World Series of Poker.
Limit. This could all change.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've seen these stacks going up and down over the last hour. It's been pretty crazy. William Romain, by the way, he won his World Series of Poker circuit ring online. He's got 234,000 in live tournament winnings, and then nearly 800,000 in online.
Somebody in the chat asked if Borgata is open again. Borgata is open.
It is.
But not the poker room. Yeah, I believe the main casino opened July 26th to the general public.
But the poker room is not open.
No, and I haven't heard anything about it reopening anytime soon.
The one thing is, for you, I would imagine that your game could be one of the earliest to come back, because you play high stakes mixed games. You're used to playing 4-handed, 5-handed poker, right?
Yeah. But this is just this fact. I play with an older community, and I would hope that they'd be a little bit more careful than the ones who no limit crowd. So it's kind of a catch-22 there.
Key Scoopy continuing to be aggressive. Backdoor clubs possible with 2 clubs on the board. The low is already out there. 1.26 million in there. Clubs get there. Straights get there.
Whoa.
And now Vic B is betting. He's got to have it, right? 7-3 and a flush.
And a live 3.
Wow.
So Key Scoopy doesn't have a hand like 2-3, any kind of 2 or 3 there. Again, another weird one to not get half of.
Especially considering how aggressive he was playing that from the start, right? The flop was ace-6-5, rainbow.
Yeah,
you would have thought that he had a deuce in his hand, right?
He could have gotten counterfeited a few different times and called with aces up on the river.
Well, nonetheless, though, Key Scoopy, who has gone from chip leader to short stack to chip leader, he is back as the short stack. Callie Funk says, I want a pizza in a parking lot. Tuck, that's awesome. I've won nothing in a parking lot. There are a few things Oh
my God, he got there.
King Jack, he gets there. He got there.
I think maybe.
Were the Kings good already?
Yeah, the Kings are good.
The Kings were good anyway, right?
I was looking at the chat, and then I looked up and saw King Jack. It looked like a stone gutter. I didn't see the other king.
Right. Yeah, the Kings were good already. But either way, Key Scoopy with the scoop there, back up to 1.68 million. Yeah, no, I've had very little parking lot love in my life. That sounded bad. I'll leave it alone.
Is the Pit of Despair open? I'm assuming they're asking about Borgata. I haven't actually been there to see it yet.
Chainsaw Poker, shouting out Ian Steinman's video on Twitter yesterday, winning. Yeah, that was pretty awesome too. I'm loving these. Ron McMillan, McDaddy 15, the guy from Iowa who comes in and plays his first online tournament and wins a bracelet. That video was great. Ian Steinman's last night, A Poker Joker, who is, by the way, is number 1 in the leaderboard, just crushing it. He is absolutely is number 1 right now on the WSOP leaderboard. He jumped ahead again of Robert Kuhn and Ryan Torgerson. So we'll keep an eye on Ian Steinman. But him winning last night was super cool. I mentioned Michael Lex Dance. There's been a lot of fun stories this summer. And we're not just done yet. I mean, we have the 2K tomorrow night. We've got the seniors on Thursday. And then, of course, the 1K main event. In terms of commentary, tomorrow night I've got Joe McKeon. Friday, I've got Maria Ho lined up.
I have a question for Melissa, since she said her favorite game is stud 8. If you get dealt something like ace 3 5 spades, do you get 4 bets in, or whatever the cap is? I would say, as a blanket statement, without any knowledge, yes, I would get all of the bets in.
Get all the money in there.
Chip and Up's knocked out here.
Yep, 5-3 for the 5-3, the straight and the low, and William Romain up to $3 million, and just like that, Chip and Up is chipped out. He is gone in 4th place. He takes home $30,474. Yeah, it's hard to answer that in a vacuum, because obviously there are situations where you don't want to isolate, you want to keep other people in theoretically, right? I mean, I'm sure you can come up with a scenario where you don't want to get that many bets in, but generally speaking, if you have 3 wheel cards with an ace and they're suited, you're happy to get as much in as you can. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100% agree. This is tough to watch. I'm like watching it like on delay, and I'm reading the chat, and I'm like, what am I looking at here? What am I answering here?
You got a lot of things going on. We got the, you and I are having a conversation while we're watching a poker game online that's happening pretty quick. And we've got we've got the bios in front of us, or at least I do. So I'm looking at those. Plus, I'm trying to pay attention to the chat. There's a lot going on. We're juggling a lot of balls. We got some balls in the air. It's all good. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Plato Poker says, where was the Ian video? I believe Ian's brother, Ian Steinman, who won the bracelet last night, I think Ian's brother did it. 3-4 for low. Yeah, and a pair of 8s for high. Key Scoopy gets out. Vic B, by the way, what a performance he's done. Down to 1 small bet. And he's now guaranteed $45K.
Yeah, he's laddered up pretty big.
So are you entertained by poker Twitter, or are you just like over it?
Am I entertained by it?
Yeah, just the ridiculousness of poker Twitter.
Oh, what's going on recently?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of more in the school of getting entertained by it.
Pair of 6s? Wow.
Yeah, he check raised a flop, I think, with the nut flush draw.
Right. It's funny. I look at it, the pot takes about a moment before it gets divvied up, so it gives us just enough time to look at one hand, but not both.
Yes, sometimes I'm like looking at a 4-color deck and the flush comes in, so I'm just like looking for blue cards. But if it's anything but blue cards, then I'm like, oh my god, how did I lose this one?
That's the worst thing, when you're like trying to figure out how you lost the hand and it's already gone. Flush here for Slow Wheel Ryman, and the low 4-5 for Key Scoopy. Yeah, when you're playing, it's the worst, because then you look up and you're like, wait, how did I lose that hand? And then you go back and you check and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sucked. Got a raise here from Slow Wheel. Key Scoopy puts an extra bet in there. He makes it 480. That gets rid of Vic B. Got a million, 1.1 in there already on a Queen 8-6. Oh, wow. Are they going to get it all in? This pot's 2 million already. 2-4.
No, I don't think
they're going to get it. The pot's 3.3 million.
Slow Wheel has to have queens full here.
He does. Queens full versus the aces. The low never gets there. He had ace, deuce, 9. Oh, my.
Man, what a gift.
Ace, deuce, 9. All those bets go in. No low ever comes. And Slow Wheel William Romain with just a monster chip lead now. What a hand.
Man, that's a shame. That's like the first good hand Keith Scopey's played.
Right. Well, he's like, I got ace, ace, deuce. I'm not folding. I got aces with a low draw. And unfortunately for him, a queen on the flop. Low never gets there. And Keith Scopey was, he was down under $1 million. Now he's a little bit over it. Thallow, I see you, man. I hear you. Sofa Perdido says Melissa Burr is poker Twitter.
Aw.
See, there's some nice people in the chat.
All my haters left with only the nice people. Yay.
No, there's got to be somebody in there who still hates you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Chainsaw's still here. No, he doesn't hate me.
Kevin Gerhardt says. Kevin Gerhardt in the chat says Vic B. That's what Mark Aiello says has some of the best poker stories I have ever heard. His European trips have been known to be quite legendary. Oh, I want to hear him. Flush versus ace. Was it ace 6 for low? Either way.
Yeah, these two just get to show down every hand, and Vic just trying to come in here with good hands.
Yeah. Cali Funk, I see your question. I don't think this is the appropriate place to discuss. I will discuss it on my podcast, though. Threes are cheap. A lot of threes out there.
No.
There's a call from Vic B. No low possible. Check, check. Remember, players cannot play the board. They must use 2 cards from their hand.
Looks like high card's going to win this.
It seems like it. Like ace jack.
Yeah.
Well, Vic B bet like he had something.
Alan Kessler says, I reamed him for refunding people. I did. It's a bad precedent to set. You're supposed to make mistakes.
Wait, what is going on?
Don't refund people. Chainsaw made a mistake the other day in a tournament and claimed that he misplayed a hand or whatever, and everyone was like getting on him because he couldn't remember the action or whatever. And then he refunded that bullet. And I told him he shouldn't do that.
Wait, so did he make a technical mistake, or did he make did he not show up and play, or is it just like he made a bad poker play?
No, I think he just missed. Yeah, it was like a bad poker play. He didn't realize the under the gun, the guy who raised under the gun or something. He shoved with 2 9s. It wasn't even that egregious. But
that's a bad precedent. Chainsaw. Do not. If somebody backs you, they back you. If they lose, they lose. I mean, if you made a misclick and you ended up winning the hand, they're gonna get the benefit of that. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Stray Cat 1284 says, we love you, Melissa.
Oh.
All in here for Keith Scopey. There's the call.
Help
me out,
first,
quick.
Nut high and live deuce. I got it.
Live deuce and a full house?
Yeah, he had the nut low on the turn, and they were chopping on the turn. Nothing could change it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Ace, queen, 5, 6 against a set. Chop.
Choppy, chop, chop.
Wow, that's a pretty bad beat for Keith Scopey on the turn.
As you can see here, blinds are 81.60. The big bet is 320,000. Keith Scopey not with many chips at all. Spades are cheap. Queen, Jack, 9. Nearly
Chuck,
6 in the morning. Sorry, go ahead.
You don't pimp your podcast enough. You should throw your podcast more love, especially since I was on it.
No, and you know what? Honestly, I've been doing the podcast for a while, and I really enjoy it. We got a bet here and a raise. Back over to Vic B.
Oh man, I would love if he was doing this with the naked ace. I'd have all the respect for him.
Putting a lot of pressure on Vic B, and I like this play a lot. If he even, I mean, obviously, if he has it, it's one thing. If he doesn't have it, and he has the naked ace, it's such a good play because he can put a ton of pressure on Vic B because of the pay jump. The difference between second and third is $23,000, and Key Scoopy has what, 2.5 big bets?
Oh my God, he raised him again.
So he's got it. Vic B has to have it then, right?
You could be King 10 versus ace piece.
Yeah. And Vic B up to 3.3 million. Slow Wheel Ryan down to 3.6 million, and Key Scoopy a distant third on just 800,000.
Vic B hasn't shown too many bluffs down at this table.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't advertise my podcast that often. I don't like to some people do that. Some people will they'll tweet it, they'll retweet it, they'll talk about it. Da, da, da. I will say, if you guys, there's a few episodes I've had that are just great. And Melissa was on about a month ago, and that one was fun. And I'm gonna get her on for a second time here. We got an all in here. I believe
Key Scoopy's out, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I believe Key Scoopy is out. Yep, that's it. Queens, good for Slow Wheel Rhyme. He's at 4.5 million. They are heads up for a bracelet. ... Obviously, World Series of Poker has disabled the chat. I'm assuming they're saying good luck to each other. Who knows? But nonetheless, we lose. We're down to heads up. And the player who so impressed, got in with a $100 satellite, has just earned himself $45,000. The remaining two players here guaranteed $68,000. So they're essentially playing for $42K and a bracelet. William Romain, by the way, this is the second time he has been heads up for a bracelet this summer.
Wow. Was the other event No Limit?
It was event number 13. I believe that was No Limit Hold'em, but I don't remember which 13 was. I will find out for you.
Chainsaw was like minus 300 to complain about the structure in the chat.
Yeah, a lot of these structures are not Chainsaw approved, I imagine. Let You 23 says, do you use only two cards for both high and low, or can it be two different pairs? It can be two different pairs. So, for example, let's say you have ace, deuce, king, king. Let's say there's a king out there. You can have a set of kings, and you can use ace, deuce for the low.
These two played a kind of a weird hand earlier. I don't know what Vic had, but the river just brought like a backdoor flush draw, but there were four low pieces on the turn. I would have thought he got the showdown with whatever he had.
I mean, is there much bluffing going on in like full ring 08?
Yeah, I mean, there could be, but like after you get past a certain point, there really isn't, because it's like the low is out there. So if you're trying to bluff a guy, he's going to call with so many different things. But once you get past the turn with the four low cards out, I would assume that you see the river with your hand.
I mean, it's kind of what I was getting at. I mean, obviously, in a hand where there's no low possible, it's a different story, especially like if you have, like in the hand we saw earlier on, if you have the naked ace of spades in that other hand, you can put a lot of pressure on somebody else, especially if there's ICM. Chop this one up, and we continue on here. Still William Romain with about a 2-to-1 chip advantage over Mark Ioli. But I imagine, though, there's so many people who will just rationalize. Like, even if things are looking bad, you kind of just convince yourself, well, I'm getting a pretty good price, and maybe he's going high, and maybe my crappy low is good for half the pot, right?
Yeah. I mean, but then you'd have to change your mind on the river. People usually made up their mind on the turn. Here.
You see all that real money on the table?
obviously I'm having more technical difficulties. World Series just decided to shut down.
You got shut down here?
Oh man, this has been a day. Earlier, it was really funny though. A friend of mine was playing the 08, and in the middle of the tournament, they dealt a stud 8 hand of the Omaha tournament, the software.
In WSOP.com?
During the 1K08, yeah, they dealt a stud hand, 2 down, 1 up, and then like paused and dealt 4th straight without any bets. It was crazy.
See, that's weird. So, I mean, if they have capability of that, I wonder why there weren't any stud 8 events.
That's really a good question, Tuck.
I just assume I assume that the software wasn't capable of doing it. I assume they didn't have the capability of that.
False. They do. I was playing stud 8 yesterday, so I don't know why I couldn't play stud 8 tomorrow in a tournament form, but I don't make the rules.
That's bizarre. I mean, especially considering you could probably have, I mean, why not have some days where you have stud 8 and a no limit event? Certainly there's plenty of no limit players that have no interest in playing stud 8 and vice versa.
I saw a bunch of no limit people in here in this tournament.
Well, good. Fire in. Why not? There's nothing else going on.
Good for them.
I mean, hey, how about Ryan DePaulo? Ryan DePaulo, who already won a bracelet in a parking lot earlier this summer. He's had a great summer. He admittedly, his own words said he punted this event, but then he went and played a $500 event, no limit event on WSOP.com and ended up winning it for $21K. So Ryan DePaulo, shout out to you, my man. Anksy says, yeah, Vic B is Mark Ioli, 542,000 in career live earnings, 108,000 online on 888 New Jersey. He is looking for his first bracelet. William Romain also looking for his first bracelet. That is Slaw Wheel Ryan. Slaw Wheel Ryan, by the way, event 13, he was a runner-up. That was a 1,500 no-limit hold'em high roller freeze-out. Thank you, Saum. Yeah, poker is poker. Lets you 23. When you're trying to make a high, it's still your best 5-card hand. Just the one difference, obviously, from a hold'em is you can't play the board. You must use exactly 2 cards from your hand for the high, and then you must use exactly 2 cards from your hand for the low.
Uh-oh, this is an interesting raise. You might get it all in here.
I mean, what are you doing here with just a good low draw on a pair?
I mean, he's already put so much in.
Oh, low never gets there. This is huge. This pot's going to one person, and it certainly looks like it's Slaw Wheel Ryan. Like, he's telling the story that he's got a full house here right now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he should, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen him bluff, but he could have, nut clubs and a Broadway wrap of some sort.
Some sort of
ace queen 10 with clubs.
Yeah. I'm getting better, huh? Look at that.
I know.
I think I said that at the exact same time as you did. Slaw Wheel Ryan, theoretically, possibly one hand away from winning this tournament. I have seen crazier things happen. People could come back. Slaw Wheel Ryan, with already a second place finish this summer, can he finish it off right here? All the chips are probably going in right now.
They're all going in here.
Ace 5-3. There's the bet. Vic B can't fold anything. Can he?
Yeah. I mean
can he fold
if he has this hand?
Oh, wow. He has it's over. That is it. Slaw Wheel Ryan has just won the bracelet. First of all, congratulations to Mark Ioli. Obviously, a great poker resume. He gets a second-place finish at the World Series of Poker added to that. Takes home $68,478 for his second-place efforts. But what a summer it has been for William Romain. Slaw Wheel Ryan, second place in event number 13. This is his 7th cash of the series and his first career World Series of Poker bracelet, $110,000. Melissa, despite all the technical difficulties, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. And thank you all as well. Anksy, Sackett, Chainsaw, Alan Kessler. Despite what you think, I do like you. Penzona, CBX28. Thanks so much for joining us. We are back at it for tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a 2K No Limit Hold'em event. Joe McKeon is slated to join me in commentary. Make sure you join us at the final table. Of course, you can catch all the action a little bit earlier on Jeff Platt's Twitch stream. That is twitch.tv/Jeff Platt. Of course, you can watch this on YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, here on Twitch. For everybody at PokerGo, for everybody at the World Series of Poker, for Burberry, I'm David Tuchman. Good night.